But your financial statements is first to know the state of your business. Because in today's economy, there's so many rumors that are flying around that people are making decisions based on overall emotional impressions about what is possible and what is not possible. What is very important is that you first get an actual assessment of the health and state of your business, and the only way to do that is to be able to have up-to-date records. Next, your financial statements help you to make informed decisions. Where is it that you're bleeding money? Where is it that you can be investing more money? What product is actually getting you the most profit? And finally, access to capital and accurate reporting. You're not the only one looking at your business, right? There's the banks, there's the investors, and there's also the IRS. And so accurate records are very important because if you don't have those and you're running two sets of books, sooner or later some problems are going to happen for your business. And then getting systems in place. So to begin to fill out your cash flow, your balance sheet, your income statement, when you're just beginning your business, the fields are green, you can hear the sound of the birds, the air is misty and it's morning, and there's nothing happening, just quietude. That's when you set up QuickBooks, Quicken, MYOB, Peachtree, the accounting system of your choice. Not when everything is in the day-to-day of running your business and serving clients. Believe me, you're going to be exhausted. That's the last thing you're going to want to do, and besides, you're probably going to make mistakes if you do it that tired anyway. I would suggest at the very beginning of your business, you get a good accounting system going. So that way, you're starting to fill out who your vendors are, who your clients are. I know somebody for a business that was more cash. What they did with their clients who was walking into their restaurant, they don't have necessarily a buyer number or a client number. They didn't have that kind of business. There's more people in, people out. What they were doing is just asking for the last 4 digits of their phone number. Getting that every single time somebody came in. So what they were able to do is getting a tracking system going to find out how many times these people had actually walked into their business, and they're like, oh, nice to see you again. And they're kind of following how much they're spending, where their trends were. So they ended up putting their accounting system into a quasi-market research function, which was great. But the thing is, you do all of that at the beginning. When you're setting up a software system to do accounting in your business, you're pretty much learning the basics of accounting. You really do. So you get kind of a shoot from the hip feeling about how money moves into and out of your business when you begin that system. But do that at the very beginning. It is so difficult to go back in time and update that information. It doesn't take a small business owner to learn that. Any job that we've worked in, we've all had to update a new database, right? And the transition to it and all the nightmares that can happen. So some eyeballs are rolling. I'm seeing hives break out. That's right. So make sure this is something that you nip from the bud and do it right away. Work with a CPA to help you not only set up your bookkeeping system and understand what regular taxes you're going to have, but also to decide what kind of legal structure you're going to need for your business, what kind of reporting standards that you have for that. And then update your books regularly. Probably am running out of time already. Profit and loss statement. We only have a few more to go. Profit and loss statement. How many do not have a copy of the printout? If there is somebody nearby that person, if they could please make sure that they can see onto yours, it'd be very helpful. The profit and loss statement is, I think, one of the very first financial statements you should be filling out when you are doing your business plan, right after the source and uses of funds. And the reason is because you're often asked to do financial projections for your profit and loss statement. Profit and loss statement is also called an income statement. And what you can do with this is you are projecting how much you are gaining in revenues and how much you are expending every month. That's what this statement does. And here you have your revenues at the top. And then here you have your expenses. And this is very basic. I understand that. But the main thing is we don't have time to be able to go into the details of each of these. We could probably do a workshop on each financial statement. But what I want to do is to make sure that you understand the basic movement and flow of numbers and money through the statements. Because you're managers, you're owners of a business. You don't necessarily need to be the one who is doing the bookkeeping and doing the updating, though that's sometimes where we begin. But my main point in doing this is that you don't abdicate that responsibility to your bookkeeper. If you have somebody coming in once a week, twice a week, that you don't let the financials to be managed by them. You need to work like a manager and like an owner. I'm going to be arming you with different questions that you need to make sure that you at least begin to ask, bless you, of each financial statement. So the financial P&L, we have our revenues, right, which is our sales, and it's going to be done on a monthly basis. Lenders oftentimes ask for financial statements, your P&L, to be projected 2 years, and the first year at least by month. Sometimes the second year also by month. The third year, we're getting creative, but let's stay with year 1 and year 2. But the thing is you want to research how much sales can you expect? How many items of your product or of your service do you expect to be able to sell in month 1? How many in month 2? And then so on. Because month 1 is not going to look like month 8. Let's hope, right? And so you want to be able to get an idea of that. Now, many will say, though, how do I find that information out? And the truth is, what you are doing is an educated guess. And keep the educated part in there. You really want to be doing research on your market. You want to know your industry as best as possible. You can maybe find a mentor, someone who is actually in your industry. Go to a business that is very much like the one you want to run and sit in the corner, open up a newspaper and poke 2 holes in it and watch everything that's going on and have a little clocker and find out how many people are selling $6 or how many people are buying an average of $6 at a time, 30 times a day, and that's more or less what the movement of that business looks like on a Tuesday at 8:30, right? So you have to do some market research and study what's going on in that business. And you come to an educated guess, one that you are comfortable, the one that you are comfortable with. And yes, absolutely one that the lender needs to be comfortable with as well. But start with your own conservative projections with your business. And so starting with sales, you go to, you also have maybe any cost of goods sold. You have your sales, costs, of goods sold, otherwise known as COGS. That means you sold the sandwich, but in order to sell the sandwich, you had to buy the ingredients for the sandwich. So how much did the roast beef and the lettuce and the avocado and the mayonnaise and the bread and everything like that cost in order to make that sandwich, right? So hopefully your COGS are higher or lower than your sales. Lower. Okay, good. Just want to make sure everyone's listening. All right. Good.
Is that not an expense, Brian?
I'm sorry?
COGS is not an expense?
It is an expense. Thank you very much. You have variable expenses and you have fixed expenses. Thanks a lot. Yes, the variable expenses vary on how much you sell. You only have those expenses when you've actually sold something, right? But you still have the fixed expenses whether you're selling the sandwiches or not. And so the COGS, you have to calculate this out. And by the way, it's very good to do so. And you can even break this down by product. We've seen business plans, we prepared business plans that are really done by ham sandwich, roast beef sandwich, egg salad sandwich, and all of that. And so you're kind of saying, you know what, my sweet spot is really the egg salad sandwich. I'm going to push those like crazy. When you go into a restaurant, you ask the waiter, what is really the best thing here? If they didn't say everything, what they tell you is sometimes not the highest price item. And you're like, oh, they must be being honest. Well, what they're probably doing is they are trained to find the one that has the greatest profit margin. It may not be the lobster dish for $26. It may actually be the linguine with clams for $18, but they're actually making more money on that dish than the other one. But the only way you get to know that is by doing this analysis for your business.